Welcome to my portfolio reveal part 1 out of 3. So this is my first account. If I get 100 likes for this video, I'm going to do part 2 out of 3. The total value of this particular account, my first account, is about $32,648, and my original invested amount is $9,800. So it's over 220% gain in 4 years. I've started this account in early 2020. I had this account in TD Ameritrade, and TD Ameritrade got bought out by Charles Schwab. So Charles Schwab shows my gain as plus 82% or $14,400, and I'll show why this calculation is not correct, because they calculate cost basis in a different way. I will discuss it at the end of this video on how Charles Schwab calculates it, but for now, assume that my cost basis is $9,800 because that's my original invested amount, and the gain is 220%. I have a total of about 28 stocks in this portfolio. I'll show you the top gainers. As you can see on the screen, Meta is my top gainer. Cost per share is about $95. And I did a video when it was trading at $95, and I took a position right after I did that video. Currently it's at $567. So by the way, this is October of 2024. So you can check the price. Meta is close to $567 now. So that's about 492% gain, which is an incredible gain. Also, Meta pays a dividend yield of 0.34%. And the second biggest gainer is Halliburton, right? My cost basis is $11, but it's only showing the gain of 150% because the price today is $27. But when it went to $40, I had more than 250% profit, and I sold a lot of it at that point of time and reinvested that money in other stocks. So that's why it's showing 151%, but originally I sold at a much higher gain. Then AMD 147%, ExxonMobil 143%. Please note that ExxonMobil is showing 3.15% dividend yield, but that's based on the $119 stock price. When I bought it at close to $50, so dividend yield percentage wise is actually much higher than what's shown in here. Then I have Schlumberger, which is #1 oilfield services company. JP Morgan, #1 bank in the United States. Nu, the best bank in the South American part of the world. And then I have Affirm. That also grew by 115%. There is Tesla, 113%, C Limited, 111%, Amazon, Microsoft, 104%. So you can see a trend. I only have great companies that have proven themselves already, right? There are no meme stocks in this account. So the point is, if you can wait for a few years and make sure to follow a company and buy it at the right price, you can get great gains even with good names. So let's continue with the tickers that did mediocre. As you can see on the screen, okay, Apple also did a 97%, Shell 89%, and Shell it's showing 4.11% dividend yield, but again that's not based on the actual price. So if I calculate the dividend based on the $35 stock price, it's much higher than 4.11%. And then Alphabet plus 76%, SoFi plus 72%. I think I own like 400 shares in this account. Bank of America, which I'm not selling anytime, that's also 58% gain. Coca-Cola, Block, Lending Club. In this particular account, I bought Lending Club a bit early. The 400 shares that I have in Robinhood account, that's my third account by the way, it more than doubled, but in this particular account I got in a bit early. That's why it's showing 21% gain. And there is Starbucks, then PayPal, then Enphase. So these are the companies that are in profit, right? So let me show you some of the tickers that I am in loss. For example, I have AT&T. I initially bought it for the dividend. I have seen 7% dividend and I fell for it, but it's down significantly after that, and slowly it's recovering now. But that was a big mistake, and that's when I told to myself that I'm not going to buy something just based off of dividend. Then Pubmatic, I just took a small position in this, but it's in loss. Pfizer, I didn't sell early enough, so I'm in loss now. Then there is Unity Software. It had a lot of promise. Their downfall started from the Iron Source acquisition. They messed up everything that's possible to be messed up. So that's why they're in the negative territory here, minus 25%. UiPath, again, I'm at loss. But I do have a position in the Robinhood account which I'm up on, but this particular account, UiPath, is in the negative. Snowflake, again, my cost per share is quite high in this particular account, but I also have Snowflake in the other accounts. So it's minus 28%. I'm confident that I can recover from this, but still I didn't want to be in this position to start with. And Intel, probably my biggest mistake, minus 52%. So overall it's showing that 82% gain, but in reality it's 220%. I'm going to show you why with an example of Halliburton. So this is how Charles Schwab calculates the cost basis. So let's say I have bought Halliburton 100 shares. As you all know, my cost basis is about $11, right? So if I had bought 100 shares of Halliburton, I would have spent $1,100. That's the original invested amount. And when Halliburton reached $40, I had close to 300% gain, and I didn't see any reason why it will go further up, so I sold. So 100 shares if I sold, I got $4,000 in my account. Now this 4,000, I went ahead and bought Meta, almost 40 shares, each at $100, right? So what Charles Schwab does is it takes this $4,000 as the cost basis and then calculates the gain on top of that. So it's not like Robinhood where your original invested amount will be shown separately and the gain is on top of the original invested amount. But here in Charles Schwab, if I buy a stock and if I sell it and use that money to buy another stock, that profited amount will become the cost basis. And that's what has happened here. That's why it's showing $18,000 as my cost basis. But the original amount, it's not incorrect, but the original amount that I've invested is $9,800. But I've sold out of a lot of positions. Like for example, Peloton, probably my best decision ever. I bought it 45 and I sold it $125 plus. Now today it's single digit, right? So I'm so glad I sold it at 200% gain and then reinvested that amount. But again, when I reinvested that amount, my cost basis has increased, right? Because that's how Charles Schwab calculates it. So this is my first account. Overall, I'm very happy with this account. As you notice, 90% of the companies that I own in this account are well-established companies that I caught at a good price, that I followed and caught at a good price. And if I get 100 likes, I'm going to do my second account. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.